well, if they're not going to come to the Atlantic City Airport, where are they going to go? I don't know. And I'm not positive anyone knows that we are not the solution to a problem we did not create. And under those circumstances, we want to stand together, all of us, and make it clear that the answer is no to the Atlantic City International Airport, which, by the way, is where our security is, the FAA. We have a disaster. They're the first ones off. And we don't own that airfield. We do own the terminal, but it's the federal government that owns the rest of that. So it's kind of baffling that this would be a site. And what few people know or realize is the Atlantic City Airport is in Egg Harbor Township. So I want to begin with our host mayor here in Atlantic City, Marty Small, because I remember back in the days of my dear friend Jim Ushry, and he said, in Atlantic City, you introduced the mayor first. So it's just a carryover. Mayor?
Yes, thank you, County Exec. And good morning, everyone. Good morning. And it's a great day here in the city of Atlantic City. Can we say great day?
Great day.
Yes, great day. I'm Mayor Marty Small, Senior Mayor of the great city of Atlantic City. And I'm happy to be here today and stand in solidarity with the other county mayors and elected officials in Atlantic County. Let's give this united front a big round of applause. What you see here is crossing party lines, putting party above the greater good for this county. However, when I
hear you, Jeff.
I know.
Thank you. State Senator Vince Palestina. Obviously, those of you that followed this from the start, we not only said no to this, we immediately said hell no. And, you know, from our standpoint, somebody in Washington, D.C. was not following this too closely and taking a look at where they are recommending that this be done. First of all, this region, that area at the airport, doesn't have the capacity, doesn't have the resources, doesn't have the infrastructure to deal with something like this from a law enforcement perspective, from health perspective, from an education perspective. We have no ability to even do this. And everybody mentioned it as well, besides the fact that we don't have the resources, the infrastructure to do this. It is a federal military base. That specific mission is to protect our region from New York City to Washington, D.C. How can something like this possibly be compatible with a military base that's mission is to protect our East Coast and make sure we stay safe? They do not go together. There is top secret work being done on that base. Nobody thought through where you could even possibly put this on the base to make it compatible. It is just a non-starter for us for a lot of different reasons. Everybody said it. We do have to have compassion, and obviously we have a crisis going on in this country. And it is a crisis we would all like to see dealt with, but there is an old adage: when you're in a hole, stop digging. This is a hole. This is a hole that is affecting American citizens at this point. We've got to stop what is going on and stop all of this migrant activity across the southern border and elsewhere. President Biden, everyone must understand we have a mental health crisis, we have an addiction crisis going on in this country. Every time an American citizen has to go to the hospital and has to wait because there are non-American citizens that are in front of them. Every time that they go to the grocery store and we have to pay more because this inflation situation has been exacerbated by what is going on with all of these people coming in and all the resources they need and all the money that they're spending. The inflation crisis, the supply chain crisis gets worse. And even worse, when people call 911 and need support, whether it's medical support or whether it's law enforcement support, and 911 cannot respond as quickly as they ordinarily would be because we are taking care of others who are not here legally. We have a crisis in America. This is exacerbating Americans' mental health situation. This is exacerbating the addiction situation. We all know people who are dying from ODing on this poison that is coming across the southern border. It has got to stop. And so we not only call on President Biden to not even talk about the Atlantic City International Airport, non-starter, but we also call on our federal and state representatives to stop what we see going on. It has got to end. It is an absolute humanitarian crisis. We all need to come together, not just as it relates to the Atlantic City International Airport, but as it relates to what is going on in America. We need to have compassion for everybody, but that compassion starts with the people who are American citizens, who live here, who work here, who are educated here. And after we take care of that, then we can talk about other things. We got to start at home. We got to have a compassion for Americans. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Kim Horton, who is the president of the Atlantic County Mayors Association, who has rallied her troops, and they are unanimous against this. Mayor?
Good afternoon. I am Kim Horton, and I am the mayor of the city of Absecon. I also have the wonderful position of being the president of the Mayors Association of Atlantic County. I would first like to say that I am happy to report that Governor Murphy does stand with us. I am also happy to say that the Mayors Association promptly met yesterday to address this situation. Lawmakers need to work together to make comprehensive immigration policies that protect our towns and communities. I'm happy that we are collectively up here, Democrats, Republicans, Independents. We are united. We are a united front. We need our voices to be heard. Thank you.
Anyone else? Please feel free. Mayor Whitney Carter Pettis.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Laura Fromer. I am the mayor of Egg Harbor Township. Egg Harbor Township is ground zero for this potential plan. And I'm going to tell you, we're a town of 50,000 people, and the conversation to bring 60,000 people to our town is unacceptable. It is something that our citizens, and our job as elected officials, all of us, is to protect our citizens and to speak on their behalf. And that's what we're doing today. Egg Harbor Township does not have the capacity to take care of this. We don't have the school group. We don't have the roads. We don't have an infrastructure. We don't have a social services program that can handle this. For the life of me, I can't understand why people ignore a situation that's been going on for years. I asked the federal government, President Biden, and even Governor Murphy, because when you say we're a sanctuary state, people think they can come. But they can't come because there's nowhere to put them. So I'm asking everybody, and I've got people from Egg Harbor Township here, Committeeman Joe O'Donoghue, Committeeman Paul Hudson. We've got two members of the Commissioner Board, John Risley and Andrew Parker, all Egg Harbor Township residents. They will all tell you the same thing. Our citizens got scared by this. They are struggling day to day to get through, and they hear this coming. It will take resources away. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So I implore all members of the federal government to get involved and fix this problem. Because all of us have compassion. All of us, our wallets are almost empty. So do something about it. Thank you.
Mayor, come on up and join your fellow mayors. I need another Don Bosco graduate with me here. Good morning, everyone. I just want to reiterate some of the points that were made, but add to it. First of all, mayors, former mayors, the county, the state, all on the same page here, because this is an idiotic plan. You need to have the infrastructure, the schools, jobs, housing, if you're trying to bring 60,000 people into your community. And New York City is telling us with 8.5 million people that they can't provide those services, but they want to come down and put it in Egg Harbor Township that has less than 60,000 people. It makes absolutely no sense. We don't have the facilities for it. Number two, since the 1970s, they told us we can't touch the Pine Barrens. It's important for the ecosystem in South Jersey. We can't take down a tree. We can't build new housing that we need. We can't put energy utility underneath the Pine Barrens. And yet now today, we're going to rip down thousands of trees because New York City doesn't want to take care of the 60,000 people that are there. The other point is just excellent. Our first line of defense for the United States of America sits right here with the 177th Airborne and the F-16s. How could you possibly think about bringing people right into the most sensitive area that we have for our defense? And then finally, I want to point out that for the first time in decades, this city, along with Pleasantville, along with the county and the state, has been working to deal with homelessness, to find housing for people, to deal with substance abuse issues, to deal with mental health issues. And they're doing a real good job. But you can't throw 60,000 more people that have no place to go, no jobs, no income into this area. So we all need to be standing together for this. Listen, I'm a son of first generation and second generation immigrants. We got to figure out how to get people into the United States legally and carefully so we can provide for them so they can have the better life. That's why they're coming here. But throwing 60,000 people in the middle of the airport is just an idiotic plan. So let's stand together. Let's say this is unacceptable to all of us. Let's take care of New Jersey residents in South Jersey first. Thank you. I'm sorry, Assemblyman Don Guardian, former mayor of Atlantic City, and now Assemblyman representing South Jersey, which absolutely includes the airport.
Pleasantville. And yesterday when I got the call to come on as a conference call from the Mayor's Association, which I commend the Mayor's Association for getting this together and all those that were involved. I heard about it. I thought about my son that lives in New York City, and he's been there for some time, and he was, with the buses being dropped off, he called one day and said, "Mom, you should see the difference in New York." He said, "I just see such a difference." He said, "It feels kind of unsafe." He said, "And I know what people say about New York." He said, "But I've never felt that way." He said, "The subways, the streets, everything, the tents that's up and everything are all so different. I'm so glad that's not in Pleasantville," he said, "and we're in our area." But now that it is coming to our area, and it's not that I'm very compassionate and know that everyone needs help. And I think that they should be able to get help. But here in the United States, we can't even get the help that we need. So I don't see how that we could have anyone else coming to get the services that we would normally get. I just say that I have heard that Governor Murphy is not for it, so that's really floating around a lot, but he's not for it either. So I just would like to dispel that if it's true. And just everyone that will do all that we can and let our voices be heard. And again, just, pray for those that need the help. But I don't think this area, this overburdened area, is where it should be. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is John Risley. I'm the current chair of the Atlantic County Board of Commissioners, county government, and we certainly stand firm with our county executive and with the whole team up here in our opposition. Our area geographically has always been tough. We're a dead end geographically. We've gone through some very tough times. In the past, we've had high unemployment, foreclosures, we've had all sorts of things. And now in this current economic environment, everybody's having a tough time making ends meet. We're on the cusp, ladies and gentlemen, of providing a new economy for this area. Our aviation industry, it's coming to fruition. It's going to be a wonderful thing for this area. And this plan by the president will just ruin the whole process that we've worked so hard to get to this point. It will be ruined. It's not right. It's not fair. It's time to end illegal immigration. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Andrew Parker, Vice Chair of the Commissioners Board. I won't hold you long because you heard many of my colleagues already speak. So what I'll do is I'll just say from the County Commissioners Board, when I first heard about this plan, the President's plan, I quickly started to draft a resolution in the county against this plan. Our county cannot afford to take on the President's plan. It's a bad plan. You hear everyone up here, Democrat, Republican, across party lines, are all saying it's bad for our area, it's bad for our county. Our county worked very hard to lower taxes this year. We're lowering taxes for our residents. We gave the directive from the Commissioners Board to all of our bargaining units that we want to see salaries increased for our residents, for our employees in the county. Those are the things that we're working for here in Atlantic County. We're finding ways of getting it done. And now this is going to be thrown into our lap. Where do we find the money? Where does it come from? Do we go back to the taxpayers and say, forget about that tax break that we're giving you. Now we're increasing your taxes. Well, that's, to me, is not a plan. That's not something I'm willing to do, and I know that's not something that any of my colleagues back here on the Commissioners Board is willing to do. So I was happy to hear when my colleague Ernest Corsi on the Commissioner Board was willing to go in and co-sponsor this resolution, which we voted on Tuesday at our meeting. So Tuesday, the Commissioners Board will be voting, and as you see it on the stage here today, it seems we'll have unanimous support against this plan. So I'm going to let everybody else come up. want to speak from the Commissioners Board?
Thank you, Commissioner Parker. Yes, I believe that will be a unanimous vote. I bring the regrets of Sheriff Eric Shuffler. He was unable to be here today with us, and I have a statement. I'm Karen Fitzpatrick, Atlantic County Commissioner. We are absolutely opposed to the Biden administration considering Atlantic City International Airport as a possible location for moving migrants from New York City to our area. The delicate balance we are currently striking in Atlantic County as we work to reinvent our economic path forward after years of lost jobs and shuttered businesses requires thoughtful planning, and this is not the best use of our vital infrastructure in our region. A disruptive incursion of this type would negatively impact our region and our residents. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Assemblywoman Claire Swift here from District 2. I, along with Senator Vince Palestina, Don Guardian, are opposed to this. When I saw this news come out the other day, I thought, how many more punches can we take down here in South Jersey? As John Risley said, our area has been suffering since 2008 between the recession. Then we had the hurricane in 2012. The derecho, so many things are happening here in South Jersey. We can't take any more punches. The windmills, it's got to end. And this is not the solution. Atlantic City is not the place to bring 60 migrants here. I'm getting calls left and right from people. Are our schools going to be, impacted by this? Absolutely it is. So please, I'm so happy that we are standing together here in Atlantic County. We're a very unique place. People in Trenton ask us all the time, what is it about Atlantic County? We stand together, whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, we're an independent, and we are opposed to this, and thank you all for being here and getting this out in the public. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Kaleem Shabazz, SHABAZZ. I'm the Vice President of the Atlantic City Council. And on behalf of my Council President, Council President Aaron Randolph, the City Council of Atlantic City is unanimous in support of our mayor and the mayors up here and our county exec. Let me just say to the Mayor's Association President, to our county exec, thank you for bringing us together this morning on this issue. And as Mayor Small said, this is an example of what we have to continue to do, Congressman and State Senator here in the Atlantic County area. This is an example, number one, of how we can come together. This is an example, number two, of how we can find a common goal. And one of the common goals is after this is defeated, and it will be defeated, to make the governors against it, all the elected officials in New Jersey, whether they're Democratic, Republican, or aspiring to be elected, are against it. After this is over, we have other issues that we need to work together on, especially here in Atlantic City. As Mayor Small said, Atlantic City is traditionally a dumping ground for those people who have social ills and concerns, and we must have the same unified regional approach to those issues that affect all of humanity. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Lisa Gepetti, Mayor of Egg Harbor City. I guess the bottom line here today is, Washington, do you hear us? Congressman, I know you hear us. This problem is bigger than just Atlantic County. And if we think about our preamble of the Constitution and what it says and what it means, Washington, do you hear us? Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here to shed light on this very important topic. My name is Nick Laraton. I'm the Council President of the City of Absecon. I'd like to thank our mayor for leading the charge with the Mayor's Association. Atlantic County and our local municipalities cannot bear the burden of the failed border security policies put forth by President Biden. We need to prioritize our resources to take care of our own residents, veterans, homeless, drug addiction. That's what we need to take care of first. So thank you all for being here, and I look forward to working collectively to stop this. Thank you.
I'm sure everyone that didn't speak behind me feels the same way. There's an old line that, rather than repeating everything, an old line someone said that I feel like Elizabeth Taylor's seventh husband. I know what to do, but I don't know how to make it interesting. And I think that's what it is. There's unity here. We all agree. And as Mayor Horton pointed out, the governor has heard us. This morning I heard on breaking news that the governor has made it clear New Jersey cannot handle these immigrants from New York or anywhere else. So it's good to be heard, and we, I believe, have done our job. And I want to thank all of you for taking the time to be here, because in unity, obviously, there's strength. Thank you all so very much. God bless you.